Today we gather here as we temporarily put the soil back in place over these priceless treasures. We are moving forward on identifying the best way to commemorate this site, the best way to recognize the people who lived and worked in this house, while incorporating all that we have learned from the archaeological dig. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, I want to thank our visitors and the public who have seized the opportunity to come to this viewing platform over the past few months and to see the site and the dig for themselves. The dig has provided all of us an opportunity to become part of our history. I know this commemoration that we will install here will allow us to continue on that journey.
It gives me great joy to introduce our team of archaeologists. This team has provided an invaluable service to our public. They have spent time on the platform teaching and providing access to history through discourse.
I have to say, we weren't sure what we'd find. I didn't want to be standing here at the end of the project pointing to an empty hall. But that was a possibility. One that happily did not come to fruition, because quite the contrary. We found a lot more than we ever expected. I think it's fair to say that all of us on the archaeology team were still shaking our head in amazement. Now that is one thing that we thought we might find, some fragments of that foundation. In the first place we really looked for that wall, we found it. And not only that, we found sitting right on top of that wall an 1833 penny. 1833 being the date we knew that the President's House complex was demolished and later stores were built. That told us something. That told me something. This was going to be a special project. Soon after that, we found that curving portion of the bow window, a window that's directly associated with George Washington and John Adams. That partial fragment of the bow bay window represents the incompleted arc of freedom in this country, which is part of the story that this site has to tell.
The words that come to me are the words of humanity. We were able to talk about George Washington, the enslaver, the president, and in some cases, unfortunately, we had to talk about inhumanity. This is an opportunity to speak about slavery and freedom in one breath. This is an opportunity to stop having one textbook about George Washington and another book about George Washington and his slaves. This is an opportunity for us to look at both and look at them simultaneously. I know that many people will be aghast that we can speak about Washington, the slaveholder, and Washington, the president, in the same breath. That we can talk about only Judge as escaping from slavery and also indicating her willingness to come back into slavery under particular circumstances. This is a complex and complicated story.
We've reached out to experts in various disciplines, museum experts, archaeologists, historians, architects, and others to help us begin thinking about alternative approaches to the project that incorporate these archaeological resources. We're also reviewing ideas offered by the public on various websites. Everything's from glass floors to viewing portals like we have at the Franklin House down the street.
For this site, however, we are going to put 2007 quarters, one with George Washington on it, the other with John Adams on it, and we will bury them here at the bow window site first.
So we are entrusting this site with these names.
First one is Richmond, Paris, Christopher Shields, our sister Oni Judge, our brother Hercules, our sister Molly, our brother Austin, our brother Joe Richardson, and finally our brother George.